Do you like luxury? Well, in the past few years, the market for luxury cars has been a tad underwhelming. But 2023 is going to be a big refreshment and a huge leap forward when it comes to luxurious transportation. Join us as we take a look at the top 10 luxury cars of 2023. Number 10. BMW XM. The BMW XM is one of the most radical vehicles that BMW has made to this day. First of all, this car has, unlike other BMW SUVs, been developed by the M division from the ground up, which means that despite its humongous size and enormous weight, it's still a driver's vehicle. This also makes it the second production vehicle ever produced by the M division, second only to the legendary BMW M1. The BMW XM is powered by a 4.4 V8 twin-turbo. However, it's also a hybrid, which means that it'll be very cheap to run, especially considering its power output, which depending on the trim level varies between 650 horsepower and 750 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful SUVs to ever exist. Add the humongous amounts of torque, 738 pound-feet, and we have ourselves one of the most impressive SUVs that ever existed. Unfortunately, there is a catch, and that's the XM styling. It's a weird-looking car, to put it lightly, and the overall public reception wasn't as good as BMW expected it to be. In fact, Number 9. Genesis 90. Oh, how far has Hyundai come? The Genesis 90, which was introduced in 2015, has been a fairly mundane luxury sedan that was a cheaper alternative to the big three. However, back then it wasn't all that spectacular to significantly impact the Germans. Well, that time has passed, as the newly redesigned 90 has all the bells and whistles that the A8 S-Class and the BMW 7 Series have, while also being a complete stud. I mean, look at it, it looks like a Bentley and Rolls-Royce competitor, and the interior complements the exterior just as well as it looks effortlessly classy and elegant, while also looking cutting edge. It might not be better than this class's interior tech-wise, but the overall design more than makes up for it. Well, if the car is so good, why is it so close to the bottom of this list? Number 8. Audi A8. The Audi A8 has always been one of the best luxury sedans in the world. Back in 2017, when the current generation was initially introduced, it was far more technologically advanced than its two rivals, while also offering a class-leading ride, which propelled it to the top of the ladder for quite some time. The engine palette is also very varied, with offerings of both 6- and 8-cylinder diesel and petrol engines that could even be electrified. The interior is still a very modern place to be in, and its multiple screen layout most certainly inspired the overall car industry, as the majority of luxury cars nowadays offer a similar layout to the one found in the A8. Unfortunately, the A8 has been around for 6 years now. Number 7. BMW X7. The BMW X7 was the company's first large SUV, and it was, in all honesty, a real hit. The huge variety of engine choices, paired with an extremely good ride quality and a fun driving experience, made this car one of the most desirable and sought-after SUVs on the road. Combine the huge amounts of cargo space and the fact that it's a proper 7-seater, and you have a BMW that could do almost everything. Unfortunately, the X7 was plagued with minor issues, and even though it's considered a comfortable car, comfort-wise a match for the next entry on our list. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz GLS. Ah yes, the best SUV that the big three has to offer. The Mercedes-Benz GLS offers all the bells and whistles that the X7 does, except for the fact that it cranks it up to 11. The GLS is described as one of the most luxurious and comfortable SUVs that money can buy, second only to the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which costs more than 3 times the Gulset asking price. And while the GLS isn't as engaging to drive as the X7, its cloudy ride more than makes up for it. Number 5. Land Rover Range Rover. No matter how good the GLS is, and it's a fabulous car, the Range Rover is still the absolute king of luxury SUVs, and that's especially true for the new redesigned variant. I mean, just look at it, it's one of the most iconic car shapes ever. The original Range Rover was the first modern luxury SUV, and the overall design hasn't changed all that much, making it one of the most recognizable designs in the entire car industry. And take a look at that fantastic interior, a fascinating blend of modern technology and old-world style. It simply oozes quality and wealth. And don't make us start with the overall practicality that the car offers from the phenomenal ride it offers over the fact that it's still a capable off-roader to the fact that it's still a very competent vehicle in the Benz. The Range Rover is a do-it-all vehicle. Number 4. BMW 7 Series. The all-new BMW 7 Series is easily the most technologically advanced vehicle on this list. I mean, take a look at that interior. Gone are the days of analog dials, switches, and gauge clusters, as this car offers huge screen that controls everything. The car looks like a one-off prototype, as it offers a space-age feel which none of its competitors do. I mean, look at the back. There is a huge pop-out screen that is reserved for the rear passengers, making the ambient even more special and luxurious. And even though you might think that in the whole digitalization process, it has lost its driving capabilities, those two bucket seats in the front beg to differ. However, what it has lost is most definitely its classiness. As compared to its predecessor, this car is everything but subtle and classy. We'd argue that it's even more ghastly than the aforementioned BMW XM. This car looks and feels more like a successor to the bangled-butted BMW 7 Series E65-5, which has been described as the worst-looking BMW ever. It too offered unimaginable amounts of tech and luxury features. However, everything was led down by those ungodly looks, which was blasphemy for BMW at the time. Number 3. Mercedes S-Class. Yes, the king of the luxury car segment, the Mercedes flagship vehicle, the S-Class is, at least in our opinion, still at the top of the world in its segment. Unlike the 7 Series, which was radically changed compared to its predecessors, the S-Class looks like a facelifted version of the old car. At best, that, however, couldn't be further from the truth. The car has been completely redesigned from the ground up, offering a much more better ride, and thanks to the lower weight, it also offers a much better driving experience than its predecessor. We'd argue that the S-Class currently offers the most engaging driving experience, while also offering the most comfortable ride that money can buy, except for a few extremely luxurious vehicles. If we take a look at the interior of the car, we can see that even though it isn't as radical as the Bavarian rival, it's still a very modern place to be. In the overall quality is exceptional too, as the leather seats are made out of real and not vegan leather. I mean, there isn't much to say. The car is a looker, it's iconic. Number 2. Bentley Flying Spur. Down to our second pick, and that, at least in our minds, could have been anything other than the Bentley Flying Spur. I mean, it's a luxury sedan that also offers supreme levels of comfort and a driving experience that is nothing short of a GT car. The engines vary between a 2.9 V6 twin-turbo that is also electrified, a 4.0 V8 twin-turbo, or the creme de la creme 6.0 W12 twin-turbo. All these engines are good. However, a 6.0, at least in our opinion, takes the cake. I mean, take a listen to that noise. The interior is on a wholly different level too. We honestly believe that this is the most eye-pleasing interior that the car industry has to offer at the moment, as it's effortlessly old money. Number 1. Rolls-Royce Phantom Series 2. Well, honestly, what did you expect? We had to name a singular vehicle out of all the vehicles in the world of king of all the luxury vehicles. The Rolls-Royce Phantom would have been it. It's a no-compromise kind of car. It's simply the best-o. And the reason there are no other Rolls on this list is simply that the list would have been overcrowded, as all of them could have made it to the list. Forget about all the other cars. The Phantom offers the best ride money can buy, period. The interior of the Phantom isn't a league all its own, as the quality of the materials is at the absolute top of the game. The leather is top-notch. The seats are the most comfortable ones in the business, and the wood, just take a look at that wood. I mean, what more can you say about a car that has carpets that cost more than a monthly rent in New York? Oh, that should be enough to tell you how bold this car is. As we've already said, there are no compromises with the Rolls-Royce Phantom, and that's the reason why it's the best luxury car that money can buy.